Now it's not just fruit. Apple is something else and all. So good morning, students, online as well as offline. This is Dr. Mihir Dave. Actually, it is Jigar sir class, and trust me, he is going to deal with the same class. I'll be here just for filling the gaps because he is in the vacation. So I need to explain some of the basics, which I think Pratiksha ma'am already started. A few sessions that are dealt with. This semester, you are given the subject called ETNF, and I'm sure you know the full form. It stands for non-fiction. So that's a wonderful title. I'll not go into the detail in terms of syllabus and all because I have this engagement for a session. So I should not start something which I cannot complete. So I'll be dealing with something which you can say continue with and without the help of a teacher, and it will definitely going to help you in your journey with this subject that Jigas is going to deal with. So I don't know if it works. So I hope it will work. Okay, so you can see what others can see online as well. Yeah, so now one last step. Uh-huh. Sure. Okay. Yeah. So students online, offline, this is what I'm going to start. I'm going to talk about. This is not for business administration, but something which is applicable to all of us. So do we have pen and paper? And students in science also use pen and paper. And when I was a student, people used to use pen and paper. Do they still use it? Do they still have it? So can you? So we are the generation next. We don't use pen and paper or something like that. And, oh, you still have it. Great. I thought you would say, sir, gone are the days. We are digital. Okay. Must be a long journey, isn't it? Anyway, so okay, don't worry, I'm not going to make you write a lot. I just want you to have pen and paper. So in case you find something meaningful, you may take note of it. Okay, now we'll start with something called a journey of a letter. You may have say more than one connotation of the last word called letter. I'll deliberately not going to clarify this. So let's have some doubts, and that's good. Now I'll show you some words which I think you may know or may not know. They are very difficult words, so in case you don't find the meaning, please don't worry. You can always ask me. I'm a language teacher, so I'll definitely help you. Okay, so let's look at these very difficult words in case you know. They're very difficult, so just fasten your seat belt. Have you ever come across these words? I mean, any word that you don't know or you find difficult? Words in the black fonts. I mean, yep. There is somebody online asking something. Yes.
સર અમે લેક્ચરની લોકેશન પર છીએ પણ તમે તો આવ્યા નથી ક્લાસ.
This is a Jigar Sir's session I'm dealing with.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in that case, you can also come to this location called MA501. 501. Anna?
Oh.
Yeah, so you can. Anyway, so let's come back to very difficult words. So all words are clear to all of you? I mean, you know all these words. Oh, I thought you don't know these words and I'll teach you these words and my lecture will be over. But you know all these words. What would I do now? Ah, you made me out of job. Okay, I'll add one more difficulty here. Do you see these words are talking about some kind of language, to do with the language, isn't it? So if you talk about the volume, you know the volume, the size. So if you talk in the terms of size, can you arrange them, or are they already in some kind of a chronology, like from smallest to biggest? They are not in chronology. Okay, so there is some job left. So can you please help me arranging these words into some kind of chronology from, let's say, biggest to smallest, or maybe smallest to biggest? In paper. On paper. Won't take much time, I'm sure. So let's say smallest, then biggest, then bigger, or rather bigger, and then biggest. Something like that. Okay. Yeah. I kept the most difficult word last, so I thought to add one more. So there is one more word added, just in case you want to change your sequence. That's called word. Yeah. Done? Great. She's on her own, isn't it? Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, students
તમારી
online.
લોકેશન કયો તો સર?
I said MA501. Yeah, you can come. Okay, all done? Set? Okay, what do you think would be the first word in the chronology? You decide, you decide. Okay, let's start with the smallest. Let's start with the smallest. Okay. Letter. Disagree? Somebody disagree with this option? Because letter would have many sentences in it, right? Follow letter. Okay. So it's a letter that you write to somebody you like or dislike? Or is it a letter that makes, or both? My question is, when I say sun, what does it mean? Sun.
Depends on sentence.
Depends on spelling. Hannah? You can say thank you later on. SUN or SON. But you would say, but sir, this is called homophones. The words that sound similar, but SUN, SON would be different. And the meaning, of course, would be different. Okay, if I say, dear student. So what, students, all of you know, what's the word dear? Spelling is D-E-A-R. And just in case you confuse D-E-E-R. No, I'm talking about the same spelling. D-E-A-R. What does it mean? Somebody whom you are affectionately attached with. Hannah? So that's dear. What if I tell you that the government employees are getting TA and DA? TA stands for traveling allowance and DA stands for dearance allowance. The spelling is D-E-A-R. That means government has affectionately attached with their employees and that's why they are given the allowance. Does it that mean? Dear. Did you check your dictionary ever for the word that you think you know?
No.
So dear students, get the habit. I'm sure Jigar sir will be pushing this idea that never take any language for granted in general and English in particular. It has many such surprises waiting for you, right? So dear also stands for, in fact, dear was the first meaning in terms of etymology, stands for something which is expensive. That's the first word. And then of course later on, because people who are dear to you are those who are valuable to you. And that's why the context of somebody affectionate or love came later on. Otherwise the root word and the root meaning of dear stand for that. Anyway, similarly is the confusion here called letter, which stands for alphabets. Combination of the alphabets will make a word put together, directly sentence, very good. And phrase then sentence. Okay, so sentence and phrases are different or same? Different. So question is how?
It's easier.
Very smart. Always remember you are a student of science. There is always a better explanation. So that's there. So apart from the spelling and the letter it starts with, what are the other differences? A phrase is a phrase. Yes. Okay, it could be simple also. Fine. Question remains same. How does it differ from a phrase?
Phrase doesn't have supportive character.
For example, examples are easier at times to rather than defining. If I say furniture, I'll say podium. It's an example, है ना? So same with
Coming
phrase.
over, are you coming over?
Is a sentence.
Suppose I said just coming over, and I said, are you coming over?
Okay, so then it makes some sense. But coming over, is it a phrase?
No, but I didn't know the example, so I just
Yeah,
gave.
that's fine. That's fine. I'm not here to prove what you don't know. I'm here to prove what you do. So let's try and find out. Have you heard a phrase, or do you know any phrase?
Come on.
Come on is a phrase, but actually it's a phrasal verb. Let's go is a sentence.
Thank you.
Is a sentence.
Not good. Thank you.
You may not like it, but it's a sentence.
Thank you. What is it?
It is a sentence. It's a response. It's a reference.
So what is today?
So then my job would come. When you say I don't know phrase, then only my job would be there, isn't it? Call off. Yeah, all these examples you are giving, interestingly, are phrasal verbs. You know, the verb that you made with prepositions. Give in, give up, call off. You know, all these are phrasal verbs. But when you say phrase, very simple example, I'm sure all of you know, but you did not know that, okay, it is phrase. Simple example like black and white. What does that mean? When somebody says black and white, is it something which is of two colors, black and
Something
white?
that's clear,
Very close, not correct, but very close.
distinguishable.
Distinguishable, very, very close. Have you heard the sentence where somebody says that I want the report in black and white?
There should not be anything over
Grey. No, which is not black, which is not white, is called grey, which stands for something which is clear. For example, sir, we are working on a project. So your sir would say, what's the status of your project? Sir, something is done, something is not done, and very soon rest of the things will be done.
The kind of children.
What's your name? What's your name? Dhuvisha. Welcome. Now, this is colloquial ones, so that's that. Anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you is something that you put on paper has to have some legal say boundary, and there you will say it has to be in written, and usually the paper are white and usually the ink is black, and from there the phrase has come black and white. The report was in black and white, which is on paper with written evidence. So that's an example of a phrase where certain words put together will literally may not mean the same. It is not nothing to do with the black color or white color. It stands for something which is used as an evidence, right? So that's what we call a phrase. Born with a silver spoon. I heard this phrase. Born with a silver spoon. It's not a sentence. Now, actually, nobody has ever born with a silver spoon or anything than the naked body. So when we say born with a silver spoon, means a person who is born into a very, very well-to-do family. That's a phrase. So which does not literally mean the words that are used, but it means something else. Such are the examples of phrases. But phrases are not a complete sentence. You will have to make maybe a complex or a simple sentence, which would be used. So then I think chronology appears something like this. Does it match with your chronology? Right? So apart from letter, rest of things were there. So for example, your chronology might appear like word, phrase, sentence, letter, and then paragraph. Oh, sorry, paragraph, letter, and then chapter and book. Something like that. But now when you talk word as or letter as an alphabet, then I think this makes sense. Is it clear? Now this is the journey in which you develop any one. I'll just add one more confusion, then we'll move to the main topic, which is facts and fictions, which is, there is a word called statement. All of you know this word? Statement is a sentence. Sentence is a statement.
No, not all sentences are statements.
Why are they not?
Statements are universal
questions.
One by one. Universal truth.
Statements are the ones which end with full stop. They are like facts.
If I say, what is your name? Is it a sentence or a statement?
It's more like a question.
Yeah, but it's a sentence also.
Interrogative sentence.
There are kinds of sentences like interrogative or yes, you are right, but basically a sentence.
But it's not a statement.
Answers are not sentences. Welcome.
I think statements. So that's why they
Okay.
can go admit as statement.
So sentences cannot be factual.
They do, but
Welcome. Yeah. See, my job is to help. When can I help? When there is a problem. And when can there be a problem? When I create it. So I did it, I think. If you already have an answer, I'm out of job. So do you have clarity in terms of statement and a sentence? Okay. When you don't get it, try and do something which is generally done by all the linguists, is to look at the examples. I'm sure you must have come across this word called statement. In what context have you heard somebody passing a statement, or in what context have you heard the word statement? In the court, wonderful. In the police department, in the police station, wonderful. In the news, by ordinary people or some special people? Reporter, but whom are they reporting? That he made this statement and now people are after him.
PM, CM.
PM, CM, celebrity, sports people. You and I speak anything, nobody gives anything. But some actor, some politician would say something. And they are the news. How can you say this? We are saying so many things which are not sensible. Hannah, but nobody cares. Not even our family members. Right? But when somebody who is somebody, when they speak in the Twitter or social media or wherever, they are answerable. They have to say, sorry, I did not mean it. Did you get that? So why their sentence becomes statements and you and I are having just sentences?
They're idle followers.
They are idle, they are successful, they are taken seriously. You and I are not taken seriously. Right? So we are nobody, but they are somebody. So point is, okay, what about the police statements and the statements in the court?
On the judiciary.
Judiciary, you put your signature, right? That I witnessed that this happened, right? Or I prove that this guy is staying as a tenant and that there is some legal document, trust deeds and all. So there is something which is written which has legal validity. Then it becomes a statement. Hannah, I'm not sure of international students, but the national students, how do you translate these two words, sentence and statement? Very difficult Gujarati word, vakya. You heard that? Vakya is fine. What is statement? Kehvat is proverb. Kehvat is proverb or saying. Right? Statement is vidhan. You heard that? And what is Vidhan Sabha? Right? Our constitution is based on, constitution of any country is based on statements, not sentences. Legal statements that these rights are given to the citizens of India or whatever country you are from. So they are not just sentences, they are having legal validity. That makes it statement. Make sense? So this is something that will distinguish. So there you should reach to the other parts. Anyways, now the word that I think some of the international students used called fact. And all of you know what is a fact. In fact, you can give me some more examples. The sun rises from east. This is semester 3 BSc students class, isn't it? So that's a fact. Okay, so that's very clear. What about this word?
What will we do?
Agree or disagree?
Okay, definitions are always tricky. So why don't you give me an example? What's your name? You said. Okay, C is Dhruvisha. Is it a fact or an opinion? C is a good girl. You are very popular, I think. Anyways, so based on my experience with her, I might have good or bad opinion about somebody. Hannah? So that's an opinion. You know this. So far, so good. Clarified. Something that is for science students, something that is verifiable 100% of the time. No matter any person from around the world would come and ask her name, they'll get the same answer. It's there on her passport or her ID. It's verifiable. They'll get the same result. When somebody asks about how he or she is, how the institute or the person is, you may get the different answer based on their experience. है ना? So that's an opinion versus fact. This much is clear? Good. So now, what about this word? All of us know. Truth.
Reality.
Sorry?
Reality.
Okay, that's a separate word, real. For example, there are two kinds of students I'm having right now. Real and virtual. So that's separate. है ना? So let's come to this.
Factual thing. Factual.
So for example, you actually have books and cell phones in there. You can see that. Is that truth? Truth. All of you know the word, right?
Yes.
So truth. If you don't ask me, I know the answer. And I thought I was in semester 3. Hanji. So, truth.
It remains forever as it is, but it depends upon whether the other people believe it or not.
So then will it remain the same?
No.
Then will it remain the same?
So yes,
But for us,
truth, let's say, Mahabharata
Let's have one by one.
truth, Mahabharata started, let's say, just an example, it is started, it is true. But depending upon whether people believe it or not, it's something again.
Okay. Yep. One by one. Sorry. Truth comes with evidence. What about the fact? Will it not come with the evidence? Like if I say her name is this, I need some evidence. He said, this is my ID, this is my name. So that's the evidence. Is it not the fact? So do you mean to say fact and truth are same? Yeah. Somebody else.
I think truth is objective.
Okay, it depends. It depends, right? If you are comfortable with the truth, right? If somebody is an idiot, and if I tell that you are an idiot, they may not like it. Right? It may not be happiness, right? It may not be happiness for them.
Well, objective. Like,
For
if I
example,
valid-
I'll tell you. I think that will make more sense. For your parents, you might be bully, you might be problem for many of your classmates. Let me complete. I know you're an opinionated person, but let me give you an example, then you can have your opinion also. I'm saying that you might be a bully, you might be a problem for your classmate, for your friends. But if somebody asks your parents in general and your mother in particular, you're the best son or best daughter in the world.
yeah, truth in their eyes.
So what is that? Is it an opinion? Your parents have opinion about you that you are a very good son or a daughter? Or is it more than an opinion? If anybody would say anything to you, they'll be ready to fight. Oh, my son is an idiot, but how can you say this? They'll be ready to fight. So it's not just an opinion for them, it's their truth. My son, my daughter. If you go higher, my God. How can you say anything against my God? I'll kill you.
Fact plus opinion is truth.
Very close, very logical also. It's not just the factual things. It is more than that. It is my belief in my son, in my daughter, in my brothers and sister, or maybe in my God. It's my truth. So truth, first of all, is subjective. Unlike fact is objective, verifiable with evidence. Truth is not verifiable. I believe in God. You may not, but I do. And if you say anything, I may fight. So that's truth, which is first of all subjective, may not have the evidence, but it has the series of experience that you have lived and then believed. That's your truth, which may change. Remember your doll with which you used to play, or your toy? That was your God. If somebody touches, you would kill before 5-10 years. Now it's just a toy. You don't even give a look. So your truth has changed. You might be in relation with somebody and you are so possessive and obsessed. Maybe after 5 years down the line, you might be laughing on yourself. How stupid I was. So that will change. So your truth that you are living may change, right? But you should always seeking truth, your personal truth, right? Not at the cost of somebody else's, but your truth. Hana? So that's, I'll end with one reference, which is father of this nation, India, called M.K. Gandhi had an autobiography titled as My Experiment with the Truth. So he kept on searching. He did not say this is ultimate. This is my truth. You find your own truth. That's typical India. In India, we never say this is the God. This is my God or my definition. You want to find, you find your own definition. That's something which we need to know as Indians. That Indians are not believers. Indians are seekers. They kept on seeking. Within one family, they may have 5, 6 ways of seeking their own truth. So that's interesting. Anyway, so far so good. Now comes your favorite word, I think yours, real. Really? What is it?
Sure.
Fact, are you not sure about the facts? Anna? Nobody irritated you like this before? No, I'm the first one. They are on their own. She was first to go, first to come, she is on her own. You come here, you come here. Chali, let's come back here, come back here. Okay. The word that I wanted to come here. Yes, girls there, please, come back, come back. I wanted to enter. Yes, what's your name? Laughing girl. Yeah. Yeah, you enjoy that, but I love it, not at the cost of it. Anyway, so there are 2 more words. I just want you to enjoy this and at the same time think that how stupid do you feel? That I thought I knew these words, and it's the first step. It's not the last one. If you don't feel stupid, you don't start. Right? My intention is not to prove that you are, which you are, but my intention is to start somewhere that you think. You ask difficult questions, isn't it? Since nobody asked, so I did this dirty job, asking me difficult questions. So that's fine. Anyways, so real versus fictional. So what's real?
I think what's with what we can use, what we can put in our senses, we can see, we can touch.
Very well, you are there. So it's real. So I can touch this thing. If there is a student, I can give him a high five because he is real time. There's word real time in front of me. There are students online also. I can see them, I can wave, but I cannot touch them. So it's actual, real in front of you. Brinda, I'll have to put you out of the class also. Right? Do you doubt that I can't do it? You want practical? Yeah. I used to do that also. Right? So don't invite me to do that. So come back to this one. So when you say real versus fictional. So real, something that you can see. Opposite can also be termed as virtual. Hannah? So that's there. But real stands for something that you can see actually, you can touch, you can feel. So that's the one. When you say fictional, you can have 2 opposite. One is virtual, which you could say actual students and virtual students. The other term is called fictional. I think you know by now what's fictional. Based on imagination, something which is not
practically possible.
Or not, it's practically possible. Let's say you plan that I'll go there, then I'll go there, then I'll do this, then I'll come back. That's your plan.
It's not fiction.
Is it real? It's your plan, right? Hypothesis. It may or may not become real, right? Depending on your time management and willing to do that. But point is, you plan something, right? Something that you wanted in your life, and then actually could you do it or not? But when you say fictional, which you rightly said in terms of imagination, something which is not possible at all, like flying horses, right? A person who can jump from the building and then Spider-Man, yep. So all those things, are they real? No, they are fictional. Somebody's imagination, very fantastic, very interesting, wonderful, but not real. So once upon a time there was somebody, and that definitely is a story, and that's fictional, right? The title of your syllabus is called non-fiction. Something which is based on real, factual. There could be some opinion of somebody, but not for sure fictional. No fictional stories. Okay. Then comes other important words which you should know. observations? Right. When you say opinion versus observation, no, if
In
you,
opinion we give, in observation we just observe them.
but you can give observation also. Let's say my observation is international students are like this, national students are like that. So what am I giving? My observations of the class maybe. So that's that. You can give and take opinion. You can give and take observations also.
But without observation, observing we can't give observation, but we can give opinion.
Opinion
Good
can
point,
change
good point.
from
Yes,
person
Brinda.
to person.
Opinion.
Can change from person to person, but observation is something which is given, but not everybody can see it. You need to observe.
Observation cannot change with person to person.
No, matlab, observation is something like it is there, but you need to see that.
Okay, but that's why everybody may not be able to observe this. That means, like opinion, it will also vary.
Something which will change to another level from person to person.
Which one? Opinion or observation?
Opinion.
Opinion would change, of course, dramatically and drastically may change from person to person. Agree. What about this one? Will it not change?
Not so much.
Now, tell me, Brinda and laughing people who are very active, not too personally offensive, the same behavior in the other class will not have the same reaction. My observation is Brinda is a bad girl, stand up and get out. I did not do that. My observation is you are enjoying, you are relaxed, I'm happy with it, that I could do that. So that's my observation of the same factual thing what happened in the class. So my observation depends on my definition. My definition of a class is one that is relaxed and one that is communicative. If it is one way I speak, you listen, that's a lecture, quote unquote. Right? Which is one way. So which may not work. So that observation is also personal, like truth, like opinion. But observation would be more meaningful if it is substantial, with some evidence. That based on this observations, I made a decision or make an opinion. If you want your opinions and observations taken seriously or even suggestions seriously, make sure that you are factual. Make sure that you have some evidence or a very beautiful word called logic. What's the logic? Right? Try and seek, science students, try and seek logic, evidence, right, and coherence. Then you will be taken seriously. Otherwise, every Tom and Dick and Harry would like to give some suggestions or advice.
So
You should do
observation
this.
can be also raised.
It could be realistic. Right? Say I came to the class, I noticed the class, and I might have some negative or positive observations, based on which I can have some negative or positive opinions. And I may start giving you the suggestions. What are you doing in your life? Is this the way you behave in the class? I can give you so many suggestions which you may not like. Right? So that those suggestions may be taken seriously. That's one. Last word, which you should reach, is recommendation. I'm sure you know this long spelling. RECOMMENDATION. है ना? Recommendation, suggestion, same. Almost. Okay.
Suggestion is like our opinion, which we want the other person to take consideration.
Okay. Like rather, I would say your ways of doing something. You want somebody else that if you want success, this is what you should do.
I want you to do that.
I want you to do that. Wonderful. That's the suggestion. Is it not the same with the recommendation?
There's something official.
Very close. It's interesting word.
Statement,
Official.
something we are
You
making
can
a
say that you
statement.
could do this, but it's on them to do it or not.
It's suggestion, it's not recommendation. We are making from our side the statement that we are.
Recommendation is somebody else doing it.
No. If I am recommending any other student for the work, then I will say that it's my statement that the person can do this thing. It's not a suggestion, it's something like statement.
Okay. Anybody else like to add?
Recommendation needs observation. The suggestion is the observation.
Okay. You can have some observation based on which you can give suggestions also, isn't it? I observed the life. I'm having white hair, so I have right to give you suggestions, which I can give the suggestions, which may not be authentic, it may not be reliable. But since I'm wearing white shirt, you have to listen. Possible?
Suggestion, you can suggest without the observing. Recommendation.
People do that. People do that. What you cannot do in terms of recommendation. Suggestion, anybody with or without observation can give. With or without experience can do. What about recommendation? There is something official about it.
Mostly,
Without getting
on the
names.
higher posts can do.
Very good. Higher position, authority. है ना? Any person may not give the recommendation. Recommendation is a formal word that you formally put it on paper. How should I excel in life? So there is somebody who did say research on life, or how should I do the research, for example. है ना? So these are the ways in which you should do research, let's say in science, in microbiology, or in physics. There are recommendations given that this is the way to do the research. So there are recommendations which are the official ones, which has some methodology, which has some procedure, and which has some evidence. Without which, it does not make any sense. Anybody can give a piece of advice. There are other two words since we are talking. Advice and counsel. You heard the word
Advice is
counsel?
informal, and counsel is formal.
Formal. So what's a counselor?
Somebody who has to figure out things.
Professional.
Professional.
Right? There are advisors also, professional advisors also, but the counselors are professionals. है ना? So these are the differences. So I hope these words will give you some kind of a clarity in terms of whenever you are observing language, particularly you are reading textbooks, wherever, try and find out if you come across a sentence, which category it belongs to. Does it belong to a fact, or is it an opinion? Is it a recommendation, or is it just a suggestion? When you keep these words with their say definition, again, don't buy the definition that I am trying to give. There is a wonderful book called Dictionary. Go and search at least 2 dictionaries for the same say word. Try and check the definition of what's the definition of truth in a dictionary. What's the definition of a recommendation in a dictionary? Interesting word, real, for example. Right? So you'll find layers and layers of meaning which you never thought of, like dear. Right? Because there are lots and lots of, say, homophones and homonyms. Homophones you can still manage, you know, S-U-N and S-O-N. Spelling at least is different, so you know that if this is the spelling, this is the meaning. But homonyms, which is same spelling, at times same pronunciation, at times not even same pronunciation. Like, okay, can you write this word for me? There's a spelling called T-E-A-R. T-E-A-R. How do you pronounce this word? Same spelling? 2 different pronunciation, 2 different meanings. At least. You check dictionary, they'll find more than 2 also. So same word, T-E-R, could be tear, it could be tear. Same is the case with beer and bear. Right? So there are endless number of words. Very, very simple word like time. M-I-N-U-T-E. Or minute. See, same spelling I'm saying. Could be. These are some examples which will help you to understand, to take these, that, okay, I should not take any word for granted. I'll check dictionary. I'll go for the definition. First is to know the pronunciation and the meaning, the general meaning, and then you may go deeper in terms of differentiating. What I tried to do here today practically is kind of hair splitting and giving you that how is it different, it looks similar, but how are they different, is actually the way of say learning anything. You always understand something in comparison to something else, right? So then the clarity of one would be better compared to 2. Last example which should help us. All of you know this word marriage. Marriage, it's a noun. Act of marrying is marriage, noun. There's another noun called wedding. And they are same. There is a different W and N. They are actually same, you know, upside down, W and N. No. They are same, isn't it? We are not talking about the engagement. Marriage and wedding. Yes or no? Don't tell me you don't know these words. So we are not married, so no idea. No, that's not logic, right? You must have attended some marriages, right? Or wedding. Or both. Okay, welcome to the English class. Hannah, what I'm trying to do here practically is that there is always an application. There is always a sense of a word. When you know that this is the word which is used in this sense, it will never be used in the other sense. At times we don't know, and we make silly mistakes of giving wedding anniversary card and not a marriage anniversary card. Anna, so there is something which I'll tell you. Do you have this Facebook profile? What's your status? Wedding wala or marriage wala? Is it marital status or wedding status? Not wedding status? Married. They don't use word wedding there. Why?
Wedding is abstract.
Wedding is writing a
Both are abstract.
process of getting.
Trust me, I'm married. Right? No, not that one.
Wedding is the name given to the process of getting wed. Marriage is the, that relation, name given to the relation.
Okay, very loaded. Now, I'll give you examples. There is a photo shoot these days they are doing before marriage. It's not pre-marriage.
No, pre-wedding.
Okay. There is a gown, there is a special dress that you wear only for a day. What do you call it? Wedding gown or marriage gown?
Wedding.
You get it?
Marriage is for lifetime and wedding is for a
Funny.
day.
Very interesting. Very interesting. You got it? That you don't. Anna. So the point I'm trying to make is there are applications. Marriage, the term is legal word. If you have attended any marriage function, you know there are two things going parallel. One is the actual marriage ceremony, which is never more than half an hour. Be it, say, Hindu act or a Christian or an Islamic marriage, it's never more than half an hour. They are called rites, R-I-T-E, rites? Rites and rituals, not rituals, rites, R-I-T-E. So like in India, in Hinduism, there are 16 rites. Last one is called funeral rites. There is a way in which Hindus should be buried or cremated. Right? There are ways in which Christians should be buried. So it will be same for all Christians. Their customs may vary. Their wedding ceremony may vary. Somebody may dance, somebody may feed, somebody may throw flowers. That would vary from family to family, from place to place. But for all Hindu, the marriage act will remain same. For all Christians, marriage rites will remain the same. That's the legal part. Wedding is the celebration, gown or photo shoot or whatever. So that's there. So somebody already almost there when you said, oh, it's a celebration part. You are right. But don't you celebrate the ceremony also? The marriage ceremony also. So people dance and take this circle and all. That's also enjoyment. But the point I'm trying to make is there is always an application. So that's what we define as knowledge. What is knowledge? That's the last one, then I'll stop. There's a wonderful word called Gyan. Gyan is Indian word for knowledge. It stands for something that helps you to differentiate. Bhedam karoti iti jnanam. Sanskrit, it defines as something that helps you to differentiate is knowledge. If you know one thing, that's not knowledge, that's information. You know one website which is good for providing you the data of this and that. There is another website also, which is a better website out of these two. There are two options.
What we call wisdom.
Wisdom, you're entering into wrong place, but wisdom is always collective. It's never individual. Wisdom is not buddhi. There is wisdom. What do you call wisdom? No, that's niceness. Yes, very close, Brinda. Very close, but not correct. Very close. You become shana. There is something called bare buddhi. So what comes at the age of 6? What should come at the age of 16 is wisdom, which is collective. That you become sane, S-A-N-E, English word, sane. You may have sanity or you may not have sanity. है ना? इंसान को sane होना चाहिए. That's what we say. S-A-N-E, sane. So that's a different word, but wisdom is generally collective. You learn from family, society, good things. It could be bad things also, but you learn collectively. So that's the wisdom. Knowledge is personal, like truth. So these are the words. Anyways, my purpose of making you think is that there is always a difference. Don't take anything for granted in life, and definitely not in language, and definitely not in English language. You ask these questions. There are wonderful resources available called dictionaries and teachers and Figureser and all. They're into it. Ask them. They may have answer, they may give it to you. They may not have answer, they'll say, very good question. Meet me tomorrow. Find out. Hannah, it happened in my life. I've been teaching from last 10 years. So whenever I know answer, I'll impress students. This is the answer. When I don't, I say, very good question. Meet me tomorrow. है ना? Basically, you should ask. Basically, you should have this query, inquiry. That's how the science came. So that's what you should try and do. I hope I did my job in terms of making you think. है ना? Should I take attendance? Yeah. Just a minute. In the meantime, I request all of you to have a piece of paper, write your name and enrollment number on it and pass it on. In the meantime, I'll also try and help students. Please do it. One of you, don't many pages, just one page, all of you. You will say, sir, 10 pages. Have unity, at least in attendance. Okay. So please pass it on. I'm sorry. Yes, please. There could be. It's a kind of a fictional story called fantasy. Fictional could be simple fictional, like once upon a time there was a girl, she went to this village and she did that. It is possible. Fictional is possible. Fantasy is generally not possible, like flying horse or a Spider-Man, right? So then there are kinds of science fiction. So it's not some magic, but it's some science, which is not proved yet. For example, Invisible Man, with the help of some science, which is not proved in the actual science, but you say this Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Have you come across this work? H.G. Wells wrote a novel in, I think, 1950s, or a time machine. H.G. Wells, same author, right? So he said that there is a machine possible with which you can go back and forth in time. So is it real? No. Is it fictional? Yes. Is it fantasy? No. It's a science fiction that in science someday somebody would make this and I'll tell you a story of such a thing. So that's a fictional. Whereas fantasy is something which is like, flying dragon and emitting fire and all those things. Horse with the horn, unicorn, all these mythological stories that you see in almost all the cultures. They're part of fantasies. Or you may derive some fantasies from, say, some mythology and you create some something in the present. They are called fantasies. Right? So that's that. There are horror novels also. The Purani Haveli, old castle, there's a monster there. So all these. So these are the fantasies. Right? So that's that. Chill. So pass it on. Yeah. Did you put your name? No. Why are you leaving her out? Why don't you join India? They don't talk to you? What happened? Discrimination? Oh, we just kill. Who has the time to do that? We just finish the story. So, yeah. Please be the part of India. It's a beautiful country here. Yeah. So do that. Yeah. In the meantime, students who are online, I think, which are many, are requested to put their names and enrollment number in the chat for the attendance part. Right? Once you do that, you may leave the class. Yeah. I could see that I was more partial towards the offline students, and online students liked it. So it worked. So once you do that, you may leave the meeting, students who are online. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.